Had to call 911 on a stranger. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button. I was out on a walk yesterday evening and saw a parked car had its door cracked open. I glanced in the window and saw a woman slumped against the door. I knocked on the window to make sure she was okay, but she didn't move. Called out to her several times. Loudly, she didn't move. I was really wrestling with what to do at that point, but finally I opened the door a little more and shook her shoulder. She moved a little, but I started asking her questions and she just moaned. I asked her if she lived at the house she was parked in front of, and after like 20 times repeating that question, she finally said no. I was able to discern eventually that she'd come from a nearby bar. She was also dry heaving nonstop the whole time. I asked where her phone was and she handed me her purse, but it wasn't inside. I searched through her car a little but couldn't find it. I noticed while searching the back seat that there were 2 child car seats in the back. She was incredibly confused and barely conscious. I tried to get her to tell me where she lived, in hopes that she lived nearby and I could maybe try to walk her home, but she stopped making sense again, and anyways, she couldn't even sit up. So I felt like she'd just collapse if I tried to help her stand. I finally called 911. When she realized I was on the phone with 911, she snapped back to semi-lucidity for a second and begged me to hang up. She seemed genuinely terrified and briefly tried to shut the door and turn on her car, but I managed to hold the door open and yelled, "Don't you dare turn the car on." She went unconscious again after that, and I had to turn her on her side because she started vomiting into her own mouth. Thankfully, the dispatcher was incredibly helpful and patient, despite me juggling my conversation with her and the woman in the car, being slightly frantic and mishearing her a few times. The paramedics eventually arrived and told me I was good to head home. The only other coherent thing I got out of her was that she had been with a friend named Court, I think, at the bar. She kept asking me to call Court. Of course she didn't know Court's phone number. I just want to say fuck Court for letting your insanely wasted friend not only leave the bar alone, but drive away. Holy shit. And it's not like this was a teenager either. She looked maybe 30. Ugh. Did you miss my previous video? How dare you? Just kidding. Catch you in this video?